Hi, I'm Flynn.
Calic.
Oma.
Raya.
And I'm your DM, Ethan. Welcome to Venture Forth. Previously, you all had escaped from a maximum security prison in Oakenspire successfully with all of your hopeful ex-captives in tow. You guys were able to rescue Timmy, Xavier, and Zeta and escape back to Hayfried's Void. Once you guys got back to the Void, you guys were able to sort of calm down, catch your breath, and actually debrief with why these people were all in prison and what was going on. So Kellic had actually offered Timmy a job with Hayfried, which he took gladly now that his employment on the ship is no longer. And you all sat down with Zeta, only to find out that she had signed some sort of contract with an unknown entity, and her soul had sort of been commandeered for a time. And you had only really one direction to go, and that was to the Dakir ruins to see what exactly had happened to her. Oma had also had a conversation with Xavier to find out that Xavier had left her in order to find out more about her heritage, to see where she came from, and more importantly, where her powers came from. And he specified that research was unfinished, that he had some other stones that he wanted to uncover, and that his work was not yet done. So, knowing that he probably wouldn't be able to go back to Kaldur, you guys devised a plan to open up one of Hayfried's teleportation circles in Addersfeld, which accomplished a couple of things. You guys were able to get Xavier back to Addersfeld, a place that should be safe for him for the time being, as well as Flynn being able to go to the Ironlight castle and meet with Melloroo. So you guys had approached the castle, and you guys had actually entered, meeting once again Chath, one of Flynn's mentors. And Flynn, you walk down the hall, a familiar hall, a quiet, long, cold hallway, down to the end where Melloroo's office is. You creaked open this heavy wooden door, find Melloroo's desk standing opposite the door. You see Melloroo sitting there behind the desk, and a large lumbering figure stands up. You see the iconic leather and fur green pauldron of an Ironlight sentinel, a full-fledged sentinel, stand up. And as this half-orc Zorkal turns around, him and Melloroo look at you. What would you like to do?
Hi.
Flynn, it's been some time.
Yeah. Chad said you had a meeting. How, and I step a few steps away from Zorkal. How'd it go?
It went well. What are you here for?
Well, and I think of the bag, and I pull the bag off. Actually, I got something. And I pull out the bag, and I reach my hand in, and I think of a horror head. I pull it out and set it on, throw it on the ground.
First of all, I'd like to thank you for getting my floor completely dirty.
Oh.
That is disgusting.
I'm sorry. And I pick it up and try and put it back in the bag. Am I supposed to take it somewhere else? I look up at Zorkal.
Well, I preferred not on my floor. What else do you have to show? And you see Zorkal begin to sort of snicker a little bit.
What else? I think. Crap, what do I have? Yeah. Well, I fought a Cyclops.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
And I assume you came out victorious?
Of course, definitely. No, not a problem at all.
Wow. Okay, where's your trophy?
See, like, about that, though, I went to get a trophy, but...
And you see her grab one of her notebooks and put it in front of her, and she opens it up and begins to write down.
It was just... it was just so obliterated and just completely destroyed that there was not really anything left of it by the time I was done with it.
It was very reckless of you.
I mean, you had to kill it, right?
All right, lack of restraint.
Crap. Yeah. I have. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
So I assume you've come to turn in your sword and your shield?
Wait, why?
I assume you're resigning.
No. Why would I do that?
Flynn, this is the longest anyone's been gone at your station and not come back with 3 trophies as instructed.
Right. Well, I've been kind of sidetracked with the other thing we talked about.
And you weren't able to complete your mission along the way? Flynn, first and foremost, your commitment to the Ironlight Collective should be your only priority.
Well, this is a big deal. It could be a bigger thing to take care of. It could affect the whole world. I figured that would take paramount if it destroys the whole world.
What takes priority in your life are the steps in front of you. I assumed when I asked you to look further into these crystals that you would be able to handle yourself, find information, and also complete your mission here along the way.
I did.
I only see one head.
I found more information.
So you weren't able to complete your mission.
I'm working on it.
I would suggest working a little bit harder.
Yes, ma'am. I'll pick up my bag to leave.
Flynn, I would actually just appreciate, would you sit down for just a moment? Just tell us what you found. All this world-ending information.
Sure.
And Zorkal also sits down.
I will take a seat. Reluctantly. Yeah. Okay. And I'm not looking at Zorkal. Just looking at the desk. Not even Melloroo. I'm just looking at the desk. Do you know the name Vasronath?
What about it?
Well, I think it's connected to the crystals.
In what way?
It seems to be... You see, my friends out there have more information, but from what I've gathered, it seems to be the leader of whatever's in these crystals.
Interesting. So what were your next steps that you were going to take?
Well, I wanted to come back to the Ironlight to, gather any information I could. But we have some leads to the tear that we thought we might take. But first I wanted to turn in some things to you. One thing, and I pull the hook core head out again. I slowly put it back in the bag after I see a reaction. But yeah, I don't know if there's... I was hoping to hit the books here and see if there's anything we could find before we headed out.
Okay. Vasronath, and you had a lead in the tear.
The ruins. Yeah, there's... I think they're called the Dakir Ruins?
I'm familiar.
What were they?
All I know is they were a town. There was a town there. I think obliterated shortly before the New Gods came to power.
Yeah, apparently that's tied into it as well.
Interesting.
And we have someone that was there that might have more information
the first-hand account. That's very useful.
Yeah. I brought her all the way here.
Would you be able to bring her in?
Sure, I can go get her right now.
Okay. I'd appreciate that.
Sure. And with a pep in my step, I run out the room to go get Zeta.
I don't trust them at all.
Hey,
How'd it go in there? Flynn?
it's going great. It's going real good.
Oh, you're not done?
Has she warmed up since the last time we met with her?
No, not even a little bit.
Oh,
But I told her that about the ruins and how, there's someone there that has information and that might lead us to, figuring out more stuff about this stuff. So I look at Zeta. Do you want to tell her what you know?
I'd be fine with that, yeah.
Guys?
I suppose.
She said she knew about the ruins. So she knew what they were before. So maybe...
Melloroo did.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I mean, we need all the information we can get. And I know Zeta here's memory is not so great. So...
You want to come in maybe and say that you need to help her with her memory because you're a medicine man?
I don't want to get you in trouble with your group here,
Right.
Flynn, but
I have her, she's in her good side right now.
I'm fine.
so-
I mean, I'm not intimidated by Melloroo, so if
Me
you want-
either.
Sure. Yeah, well, of course not. But you're not intimidated by anyone.
No.
Then, fellow Weave.
No.
But maybe it's best just you and Zeta for now.
All right.
All right.
And I'll hold my hand up to take Zeta's.
Okay. She reaches out and grabs your hand.
Come on, let's go. And I'll lead her back into the door, hesitate at the door. All right. And I'll walk through.
I assume this is who you were speaking of, Flynn.
Yes, this is Zeta.
Zeta. Good to meet you. If you would please have a seat right here. And she instructs Zeta to sit in the chair that Zorkal is not sitting in. There are only 2 chairs there.
My chair, you mean? You mean my chair? Yeah. I'll stand at the door.
Thank you very much, Flynn. If you'll give us a few minutes, I'd appreciate if you stepped out now.
Oh, you don't want me to...
God.
It might be helpful because she's kind of like struggling with her memory. And I was there when we talked to her about it. So I might be able to fill in the blanks.
I wasn't asking you, Flynn.
Yes, ma'am. And I'll walk out the door.
Okay. You walk out the door. The door closes behind you. You join the rest of the group.
I don't join the rest of the group.
Oh, okay.
I keep my ear to the wall.
Keep your ear to the wall.
To the
okay.
door. To the door.
Do we? How far away are we from the door of this?
You guys
Not
are
all the way.
yeah, you guys are, there's sort of like a long hallway and then sort of around the corner is like an open courtyard, which is where you guys are. You probably wouldn't be able to have a direct eye line on this door right here.
Okay.
Flynn, make a perception check for me.
At disadvantage because I studied.
Yeah, you're tired.
I rolled a 2.
The lowest you can roll.
what?
man.
Wait. Do I see Flynn at the door?
You do not. No,
Wow.
you,
Around
guys,
the
you guys are
corner.
all in the courtyard. No.
Okay, never
I'm
mind.
sorry.
Just twiddling our thumbs.
Yep.
Whittling the staff.
So I rolled a 2. Well, plus something, but I'm assuming it doesn't matter.
Flynn, you lean your head up against the door and you hear.
I just keep trying to make it better as I stay there for a minute or 2.
All right. And about 5 minutes passes
Okay.
and you hear the door click and swing
I will
open.
stand up like I'm standing guard at the door,
Okay.
not like I'm having my ear there.
And you hear the door swing open.
Sure.
Here. Flynn, please come back in.
Yes, ma'am. And I'll step back in.
Okay, and as you walk in, you see Zorkal sitting there, and he's sort of got a little miniature notepad out, and you can see he's been taking notes and writing down, and you see Zeta sort of sitting there, a little hunched over, looking a little defeated. Sort of, you can see there's sort of like a tiredness on her face, possibly just from recounting this traumatic event.
Sure.
And Melloroo says, Flynn, I appreciate this valuable piece of information that you've brought in. It's very helpful. Zorkal will be taking lead on this, so you need worry about it no longer. We have all the information that we need to follow up. You may return this wonderful young woman back to wherever she calls home.
Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna hold my hand out for her hand.
Okay, and Zeta stands up, grabs your hand, and
I'll walk her out.
starts walking out of the room.
Good to see you again, Melloroo.
No response.
As the door shuts. And as on my walk back, I'll walk slower, and I'd like to. So, what'd she ask you?
She just sort of asked me, a lot of the same questions that you guys were asking. I just told her the same thing. Pretty much word for word what I told you. I mean, it's hard to talk about. I might have left out a few things this time. I don't really want to revisit that right now. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, okay?
I'll be okay.
Okay. Well, let's get you back to the group.
All right. And you two rejoin the rest of the group.
Oh, that was quick.
Yeah, basically just the same old. Just told her what we found out about Zeta. I did have to stand outside, but Zeta said that she just basically told the same stuff, right?
I told her the same thing. Yeah.
Did she do her little magic trick where she, checks if you're possessed or not?
Well, I wasn't in the room.
When we were there before with March in the crystals, and there was suspicion that Alma and March were some kind of monsters, Melloroo did a magical sweep of some kind. Did she do anything of that, like with you?
Maybe she put her hand up to my face, and there was like this green glass sort of energy around her hand, and she just kind of waved it around. I assume that's what you're talking about.
Do I remember that being the same thing?
You do. Yeah, exactly what it was.
How did she respond afterward?
She seemed okay. I didn't even know what she was doing at the time, so I don't know what an appropriate way to respond was, but she seemed calm.
That's, I guess, good.
I mean, she did also say that, Zorkal is going to take the lead on it, so we needn't worry anymore.
Who's Zorkal?
Take the lead on what?
On this thing.
But who's Zorkal?
Just another member. It's another, and I huff.
Well,
Just another sentinel.
Melloroo's not my boss, so she doesn't get to tell me what to do.
Right, and as I'm nodding very obviously, like, right, yeah, we should, definitely leave it to her though, because she's the one that said it.
Flynn, I don't understand.
We can talk about it over lemon pastries.
Zorkal, is this something to do with the night at the abandoned bakery? That character?
Yeah.
What character at the abandoned bakery?
I'm just staring at him.
All right. I hate this place.
How's Tito looking right now?
He is fascinated with everything that he's seeing. He's doing that bird sort of neck twitch where he's like moving his head around really quick and like looking over here at the corner, looking over there, looking over there.
I'm just gonna catch his eyes every now and then and just check in with him as I'm twirling the staff and I sort of give them a shrug. It's like, perhaps we should indulge in what pastries that Flynn was talking about. I think maybe be a better place to feel comfortable. And then I look around at everyone.
I do wish we had other places we could spend our time, but that sounds fine to me. Zeta, I'm surprised she didn't remand you to some further confinement, honestly. She thought you were well enough.
Yeah, she seemed to think I was okay.
Well, that's comforting. Let's go, I suppose.
Well, have you seen Chath? Because I do want to ask him something before we go.
And right as you ask this,
Did he sneak up on again?
No, he did not. You hear sort of echoing off of some of the halls and all of the stone of the Ironlight Castle. You hear just sort of echoing about 5 or 6 voices. All in unison.
Okay. Oh, head towards...
Wait a couple seconds and it repeats.
I'll head towards that sound.
I'm going to follow.
Yeah, I suppose we'll follow along.
You have a long tail behind you of people and beasts and things.
Naturally, I'm frowning. as we do the opposite of what we just said we would do.
It sounds kind of familiar to me, right?
It does, yeah. Yes, it does. And as you guys are walking through, you guys see that the castle opens up into sort of a larger courtyard area than the one that you guys were just in. And Flynn, this is an area that you know very well, and that you actually saw when you were here last, when you met up with Chath. You see a bunch of training dummies all set up on these posts, and some of them are moving around, and some of them look like they have different armor on. And you can see right in the middle of the courtyard, you can see 5 students, 2 half-elf, 2 human, and a half-orc. And they're all in perfect time, practicing different sword motions and blocking with the shield, and all in perfect unison as you see Chath sort of standing there with his hands behind his back, observing the class.
Let's take it in for a moment. Just nostalgia, almost. And then just try and catch Chath's eye as he's teaching, and to see if I can catch his eye and give him a nod that I want to talk to him.
Hey, you guys keep doing exactly what you're doing. You guys are doing great. Just keep it going. I'll be back in 2 minutes. And he sort of does a little half trot over to you. Hey, how'd it go?
The same.
Yeah? So it sucked.
Basically, yeah. And I didn't really get any more information. Do you know anything about Vasvernath?
Never heard of it.
I didn't think so. But the tear?
I mean, I could point it out on a map.
Right. And I'll look back at the trainees, kind of see them moving, see some of them with their armor and stuff. Actually, I've been meaning to ask you about something too. I'm good. But I am getting beat around a little bit.
That's the job.
A little bit, yeah. I used to have a little bit more protection, but ever since learning, and I'll look at my tattoos on my arm, I had to get rid of my protection. And I'm curious, is there anything I can do?
For further protection, you mean?
Yeah, armor and anything. I'm kind of missing it.
How many beasts have you killed?
2, but only have the proof of 1. Speaking of which, and I'll pull the Hokorb head out of my bag and throw
That's
it.
nasty. Put that away.
I'll pick it back up off the ground and put it back in. Where do I put this?
I don't know.
Well, I was supposed to turn it in, I thought.
Well, yeah, you were supposed to come back and show us, not throw it on the ground and make a mess of things.
Okay, well, I showed you. Does it count? Am I good? What? I don't remember.
Yeah, I'll take your word on that second one, but.
Oh, you will? You're the best.
And he sort of he looks around.
Some, and I'll pull from my bag the necklace we took off of the saber-toothed tiger tooth necklace, where he pulled off of the Cyclops, and show it to Chad. This, I know you Ironlight folks are more bloodthirsty than this kind of trophy, but this was pulled from the neck of the Cyclops.
Oh shit, that's awesome.
Does that count?
Why didn't you pull that out?
I thought I needed a body part.
I don't know where you got that, but
I look at him like, come on!
I don't know. I mean, maybe that's what Victor told me. I don't
See,
know.
this is all right. Good.
Okay.
This counts for him.
You don't have your third though.
Not yet.
And Chath sort of looks around, sort of sees.
We killed some
no one's looking.
Mighty insects in the underground. Yeah. You didn't take anything from them though.
I mean, you all look like trustworthy people, and
we've seen a lot.
It looks like it. Flynn, but you guys all have to stay here. Flynn, I'm not supposed to be doing this. Just come with me.
Okay.
As I'm not listening to any of this conversation, I am like quietly sneaking my way into the arena with them
Okay.
and like finding a staff or something to like have some fun.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Make a perception check.
Perception, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. 7.
7. You see a couple of, they're like these, it could be a staff. What it looks like is like a wooden pole in order to keep up some of these training dummies. But it's kind of the right size and shape. You don't know how strong it is or if it'll stay together if you hit something, but about the right size and shape.
Cool.
Awesome. What are you doing with it?
Yeah, so they're having their little conversation.
Yeah.
And I'm just like quietly sneaking my way to one of the practice dummies. And I'm hearing their like grunts of like clearly whatever practice moves they've got going on. And I want to start doing any of the practice moves that I had way back when, and I'm just gonna like kind of by rote start getting a feel for it, making sure I still remember everything.
Okay. All right. Oma doesn't know this, but in this courtyard, there are several like levels of these training dummies, depending on your experience. So I'm going to have you roll a d12. See which one you approach.
While she's rolling that d12,
Yeah.
I'm going to be looking over at Tito. All you hear is clicking and...
Oh, that was a d20.
But I'm basically looking over it. Oh, first of all, wait. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Do I see Olma creeping away?
What is your passive perception?
I believe it's 16.
16. Oma, roll a stealth check.
Oh,
use a new dice.
yeah.
Yeah.
Really high stealth though. 10.
10.
Oh.
Yeah, sure. You'd see her.
So as I'm just not like kind of nodding and nudging Tito in Aaron, I'm basically saying, one's quite nimble and can, perform some feats, and some of those include, and I just gesture over to how she's crawling. Trust me, I know I have first-hand experience with those types of abilities. I can talk more about it later, but and then I just watch. It's very nimble.
And for pretty much the first time since you've seen him, Tito's focus sort of narrows onto one thing, and that one thing being Oma.
Oh.
What was your d12?
6.
6. Okay. So you are just practicing a couple forms on this?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're doing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All of a sudden,
Oh no.
this training dummy springs to life. And you can see it's sort of standing there. It's just the torso up. It's got 2 arms, and it's got some wooden swords in each hand. Nothing extremely lethal, but still the blades are pretty big and pretty sharp. As all of a sudden, it rotates on its axis and swings towards you. That is going to be a 13 to hit.
It does not hit. I duck.
Okay. You duck right under it.
I'm much shorter than it's used to.
To be fair, it is.
We had the same thing.
As the second sword comes back around, and that is a 17 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. That is going to be 5 points of bludgeoning damage as it hits you right in the chest.
Oh.
And then if you were to look over at Try and Tito, I at least go, ooh,
You see Tito kind of wince a little bit.
as well. Okay.
Are you continuing to hit this thing?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, make an attack
I'm
roll.
gonna throw I want to drop the dowel, the
Piece of wood.
piece of wood. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm gonna flurry of blows.
Okay, make an attack roll.
Oof. I am not rolling well today. That is an 8 to hit.
An 8 does not hit. Well, you make contact, but it's not. You sort of hit this armor plating on the side of it. It's not enough to actually cause any damage.
I get 2 more hits.
Okay.
15.
15 hits.
Hey.
And that is for 5 points of damage.
Okay.
And another one. 24.
Yeah, that hits.
For 4 points of damage.
Nice. Okay.
Is Xavier nearby, by the way?
Xavier is actually not here.
he's not here.
Xavier is still in Hayfried's.
Who else is
void
in my
bubble.
immediate proximity?
Zeta.
Oh, that's right.
Tito. Kelik.
Yeah, I mean, I'm over sort of with Flynn and Chad having this
okay, okay.
conversation.
I'm gonna motion over to Zeta and be like, really going for it in there. Okay. As a logical way of just like working down the chain of people to be like informed and potentially fascinated by this.
And she turns to you and, she just got hit. Should we do something?
No. You have to come up and learn your own way.
Okay. Oma, these 2 arms swing back around at you with these swords. That's going to be 16 to hit.
That meets it.
Okay. As this sword hits you, that is going to be 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
Spit.
And the dummy does a complete 360 rotation and swings at you again with the other sword. 11 to hit.
It does not
So
hit.
Does not hit.
Huzzah.
Okay. Are you still attacking?
Yeah, I want to like crouch down and jump up and like flip over its head, grabbing its head.
Okay, make an acrobatics check.
Natural 20.
Nice. Okay, you are on top of this thing's head.
And I want to pull its head off.
Okay, make an athletics check.
15.
This thing just pops right off. You feel like a little mechanical gear break as it pops right off, and the entire thing slumps over, and you actually fall off as this now like limp thing is very difficult to hold on to.
As I start to fall, I want to like tuck and roll.
Okay.
And jump up and hold the head up. and then slam it down.
Okay. And as you slam it down, it like shatters across the ground. And in this moment of victory, you're feeling good. You look over, and the class that was just practicing has just completely stopped and is giving you a terrible death glare. Like they're looking at you like, who is this kid and who does she think she is?
And at the moment you had your victory stance, all you hear from one person over in the corner.
And Zeta just a very quiet little. As that is all happening,
Flynn, before you go, let me take care of that head for you. I'll destroy it. It doesn't need to.
Do you need it anymore, Chath?
no.
Okay. I'll hand it over.
I'll put this.
It's
thing to rest.
goopy. It's goopy. Be careful.
Yeah,
Gross.
Yeah, describe the hairy part.
I'll use both hands.
Okay, there you go. Oh, God, it's on your nails.
Yeah, it's,
I'd wear gloves if
I've
that
dealt with a lot
was
of
me.
cadavers. It's not.
Right, can you just hurry up and get rid of it? It smells really bad.
I'm going to give it some time here. It deserves at least a bit of it.
Yeah, you don't need us for here. You're here for
yeah,
this.
we
do you?
can go, right?
Yes, I'm just going to. I'll take care of it. Don't worry.
Okay.
Gross.
And
Okay,
I
Flynn.
start to just
Stinky.
like very, very respectfully set it down on the ground, sit with it for a moment, look in its grisly face, and you might not have had a good life or a long life, but you had a life, and so you'll have a death as well, and all with respect and honor for it. Ex quo. Good luck among the ashes. And I will disintegrate this head.
Okay. The head has been disintegrated.
Hey!
As it lays a pile
The
of
longest
ash.
living head.
Oh, that thing was gross. It didn't take
Yeah.
much. Like this thing was a little easier to disintegrate than anything else that you've done.
Yikes.
So Flynn, you're following Chath, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So you follow Chath and you duck down one hallway, you duck down another hallway, and then you stop about halfway down a hallway that you usually just walk down. You haven't really stopped here before, as Chath looks down one way, down the other way, and he presses one of the stones of the wall into the wall with his hand. As a secret door opens up, as the rocks sort of rumble and move, it opens up into what looks like another room. Chath gives it one more look left and right to see that no one's there.
I'm looking too, like I know what I'm looking for.
You don't see anyone as you both dip inside and the wall closes back up and these magical sconces light up across the room. This magical green flame begins to light the room. And you can see lining the walls are on your right. You see about 100 different pauldrons of this greenish leather and fur that you just saw on Zorkal.
Yep.
On the far wall, you see intricate swords and bows and arrows and crossbows and warhammers and axes and all different types of weaponry, all very intricately carved into or written on, exactly like your sword is. But all of these swords are like very intricately done. And then on the wall to your left, you see a bunch of shields. And you see most of them, well, some of them are these huge, like full body shields that would even shield Chath. Some of them are a little bit more mid-sized, and then you see Chath walk up to the wall to where the shields are a little bit smaller. And he walks up to one of them, and it's this little small round shield, a little bit smaller than yours was previously, but it's got the same Ironlight symbol on it.
Okay.
Takes it down off of the wall, and he walks over to you and he says, "Now, you got that bag, right?
Yeah.
Put this in the bag until you're clear of the castle. Don't let anyone see that you got this.
Oh, okay.
We are not supposed to be in here. You do not know this room exists."
Right. Definitely. And I'll pull my bag off my bag and hold it wide open, as wide as I can pull it to fit this in.
Okay.
I got it.
And as he's putting it in, he sort of shows you the underside of it. And he says, "All right, now the inside, your previous shield has just sort of had a couple straps in there. This one, it's got like a full sleeve."
Right.
And you look on it, and it does look like a full sort of sleeve that you have to pull on in order to attach the shield.
Okay.
But the thing is, it's got like these little places carved out where your tattoos are. And you see two little circles cut out of that. So you're going to still be able to hold on to this, but you're going to have your hand free, and it's still going to be able to let the magic flow through.
Perfect.
So you get the extra bonus of the shield, plus you got an extra free hand now.
Well, that's great.
But I cannot stress enough that you do not have this shield.
Did not get it from you.
You don't have it, period.
I mean, I don't have it.
I'd even say when you get close to Addersfeld, just take it off,
bag.
put it in the bag.
I'll definitely remember to do that.
Because if anyone sees you with this thing,
Yeah.
two things are going to happen. Three things. Either they're going to think you stole it, they're going to think that someone gave it to you, and then they're going to trace that shit back to me. Or they're going to think that you killed someone for it, and that's not going to end up well for you.
Right.
So I'd keep it in the bag.
You got it. In the bag. It goes as I'm holding the bag open.
And he drops it into the bag.
Quick though, you say crossbows. Well, can I see one of those?
You can take a look.
I want to, and as soon as he says that, I will walk over to the crossbows. I want to see if there's one that's small, not like a two-handed one, but like a hand crossbow, like one that you hold in one hand.
You do see a couple of hand crossbows.
Just pick one up and look at it.
Just be careful. No, keep your finger off the trigger, please.
Take the finger off the trigger. Can I?
Flint, you're pressing your luck right now as it is.
Fine, I'll hand it to him.
All right, and he takes it and he puts it back up on the wall.
Next time, though.
Next time, you better have 3 fucking trophies.
I will. I'm going to go to the requisite as soon as we're done here, and we're going to get something and take care of it. We need gold anyway, so it'll be a good way to get gold. Don't worry about it. Okay? And I do
Don't make me worry about it.
Hey, I'm appreciative that you're worried.
Don't get all soft. Okay?
You're right.
It's not that deep.
Pull my shirt down and pull my like armor down, like keep it straight and tight. All right, you're right.
All right. Just stay in here for a second. I'm gonna go make sure.
Right, we can't leave at the same time. It's weird.
And he goes and he opens up the doorway. He looks left, looks right.
Oh wait, chat. Before we leave,
No, we gotta just get out here first, so people don't see that we're doing this shit.
well, if they already see us doing it right now.
No, Flynn, just get
All right,
out.
fine.
All right, and then the walls close back behind you. It's okay.
Did you find anything about Kaelin?
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean,
I was gonna ask Melloroo, but she's like super scary all the time, and Zorkal was in there. Which, thanks for telling me, by the way.
I didn't know he was in there. You getting mad at me for that shit?
Well, you could have told me, all right?
I didn't know he was in there.
How do you not know he's in there? He's a big, scary orc.
I knew she was in a meeting,
Is that?
and I'd be a little bit more appreciative of the shit that I just gave you.
You're right. I'm just. There's a lot of emotions going on right now. Anyway, I was gonna ask her, but I didn't. Did you find anything?
Last I heard, she was headed back up to Aramor. I don't know if there's anything up there for her. I knew she just wanted to get away for a little bit. Technically, she's a sentinel.
She did it.
She did it, but I don't know where she stands right now. I mean, she might come back and still want to be a sentinel, but the question is whether Melloroo lets her back in.
You know what happened?
Sometimes you see things on these missions, and I think she probably saw something that
You don't know what she saw?
I don't know. I didn't ask.
Melloroo didn't. Okay, yeah, Melloroo.
If she knows that, she wouldn't tell me.
Tell anyone, yeah. Where again?
She's up in Aramor,
Aramor.
just north of here. If you go around the Shadow Timberland, it's just sort of north
All right.
or northeast.
Okay. Well, hope she's okay. And I'll just start kind of walking back to the group with Chath. As we walk back, would I know where her room would have been in here, and would I know if there's still belongings there? Do I have a photo of her or anything, like pictures, likeness?
You would not have any likeness of her, but you would definitely know where her room was, as you guys were all staying sort of in the same barracks. You guys were all in separate rooms,
Sure.
But it was all in the same area, so you would definitely know where her room was.
Would it still be her room now that she's a sentinel? Or
You'd have to go and find out.
Can we swing by her room really quick? I just want to see if there's...
Yeah, go wherever you want to.
All right. Hey.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. Thanks for nothing. And I'll give him a wink as I walk over to Kaelin's room.
Yeah, no, you're getting it. I gotta go back to my class.
And I'll try and find Kaelin's room as I head off.
Okay. The rest of you see Chath walk back into the training courtyard. He looks over at Olma. He looks at the dummy on the ground. And he looks over at his class. He looks back at Olma. Looks over at his class. Now, why can't any of you do that? That's the kind of shit I want to see.
You just see Shreya just cracking up laughing like,
Get back in the formation. Why aren't you guys doing your drills? As they all sort of get back and start doing their drills again.
I just kind of quietly walk back to the rest of my group.
All right, and as you walk back to the rest of the group, you see Chath walk over to the group that's training there. And he sort of is looking at their form, and he walks up to one of the young half-elf men who's doing his form there, and he looks like he's doing the exact same thing in perfect timing with everyone else. As Chath walks up, inspects every single move that he's doing, inspects every foot placement, every hand placement, and just shoves him, gives him this huge shove as this half-elf falls to the ground. And Chath walks over as this guy's laying there cowering on the ground, and he leans over him, and he says, "That is not what I taught you!" And you can see a little bit of like fire beginning to emanate from his red dragonborn mouth. What are the rest of you guys doing as you are all back together once more?
I finished chuckling.
Looks like you could teach them a thing or two, Olma.
And I'm gonna look over at Chath's outburst. and just kind of like shake my head because I'm just remembering what it was like training, and just like try to ignore what's going on because I don't want to be involved in that.
This place is... I don't understand.
I mean, that's kind of normal.
Normal.
Well, as far as like training how to fight goes, yeah.
I mean, I learned a little bit of fighting and, when I was sent to join Ondel's forces on the border, but that seems a bit excessive. I mean, if looking at the form of these lads here, this is a lot better than probably most of the men in Ondel's army.
Yeah, but Ondel's army doesn't look like they're doing too good a job.
Well, they held
All
the
right, because
border.
apparently you just want to be doing your own thing and don't want to listen to me, as he's screaming back at this half-elf. Is everyone clear? As all the students back away, and it's just the half-elf and Chath standing there in the middle. He goes, since you don't want to listen to me, and you think you can do things your own way, come at me with it. See if it's better than my way. As this half-elf sort of shakily lines up his sword, Chath has nothing in his hands. He has no weapons, no nothing.
But his face is a weapon.
His face is a weapon.
I mean,
As this half-elf lines up this very real, very sharp metal sword towards Chath. After a second, the half-elf steps forward to strike, and he swings his sword towards Chath's head as Chath, nimble as anything you have ever seen, ducks out of the way, takes about a half step around the half-elf, and puts him in a headlock. As the half-elf drops his sword and puts his hands up towards Chath's forearm that's currently around his neck and tries pulling it away.
that's not gonna work.
And you see this half-elf's face start to get red as this half-elf starts to like tap on his forearm as fast as he can. Chath holds him there for a second. Maybe a second too long, as then he lets him go as the half-elf drops to the ground and starts gasping for breath. Yeah, you want to do things your own way now? He goes, no, I don't. I'm sorry, I don't.
What does this prove, though? Any one of these men would have not been able to best Chath in face-to-face combat.
It's not really about that, though.
What is it about? Abusing the men until they do as they're told?
No, it's more like remember that you're not just like doing this for nothing. Like, it's not just like you're just like hitting things with a sword. It's not supposed to be fun. You're supposed to remember that it's for something. Like, you have, like, it's for fighting. It's not against people or creatures or whatever. It's not just like you going through the motion.
But if I were to raise a blade to the creature that trained me, what are the odds I would commit to the strike?
I don't know.
I don't know. When I was learning the ways of Famir, they applied a stringent attitude to that as well. But nobody put me in a chokehold.
I don't think Famir would want you to be in a chokehold. So, I mean, I don't think it's really one-to-one.
If I'm easiest to be believed, who knows?
Not me.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
You don't know what?
You said who's to know? I'm saying not me. I don't know.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I don't know either. Does this guy look okay? He's on the ground. Is he? What's he?
He has popped back up. He has gotten back into formation with the rest of his classmates. And you can see his face is still very red and very flush as he starts to go back into position and begins doing his drills once again.
It's so silly, Kaelin, because his arms aren't as strong as his legs. So really, if he wanted to get out of that chokehold, he shouldn't have been pulling at the arm. It's so stupid. I don't know if Chath is teaching him the right things.
Well, looking at Flynn, probably not.
That's true.
I eye the little half elf, not sort of like longingly, but also like with a kind of empathy, as I slowly touch my thumb to one of the geometric patterns on my staff, the crystal glows slightly, and I'm gonna druid craft like a little tiny gust of wind in his face to like give him a tiny little blast of wind.
All right, and doesn't even look like he notices it. He is fully concentrated on what he's currently doing.
Can we... Oh, I'm sorry.
You have my thoughts and my encouragement, whether you know it or not.
Can we see any distinction between this half-elf's form before and after his beating?
Make a perception check for me.
I also look.
Yes, you can. You can make it either perception or history. Or Olma, if you want, you could do athletics too.
Perception's better.
Do whichever one you want. This could be a couple of things for Olma.
Mm-hmm. It's only a 9 for me.
It's a 15.
A 15. Okay, Olma, you don't really notice anything too much as they're practicing with swords, and you aren't as familiar with sword
That makes
forms
sense.
and things like that. So there's you can see some sort of like common ancestry in the techniques that they're using, but you're not as familiar with this. Kellic, you would notice that before, while everything was in perfect time, every probably fourth or fifth swing of the sword, after there would be the swing and the stop, it was just like the slightest imbalance on his footing. An imbalance that is not there anymore.
I hope whatever he's learned today protects his life in the future.
I mean, that's kind of the point.
Well, obviously.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's a lot more going on the battlefield than whether or not you can keep your balance.
Yeah, but losing your balance is really bad, so that's kind of like a biggie. Also, if you lose your balance, you can't be as forceful, so it means you're not hitting as hard, and if you're not hitting as hard and you're not being forceful and you're falling over, it's kind of like it's a spiral and it goes down and down and down. I mean, we used to have to like jump from pole to pole, and I can't even tell you the amount of times I fell over and it was not good.
Where was this?
Well, I was raised in the Raging Peaks. It's kind of in Caldor, you know?
Up in the mountains.
Yeah, up in the mountains.
Right. And they made you jump from pole to pole?
Well, that was just like part of the training. I don't know, it's kind of like this, except not with swords. At all.
And
So actually, it was nothing like this.
That doesn't seem that dissimilar from what you're saying here.
I mean, yeah, similar. There were more of us, though. There's only 5 of them here.
And were they all children?
Some of them were children, but I didn't stay with the children for very long.
That seems...
Well, it was school, and then you grew up in the school, and you kept learning and learning and learning until you were an adult. And then you would stay for a couple years as an adult, and you would teach, and then you would go off into the world.
So what happened?
What do you mean, what happened?
Well, I don't think you've taught anyone.
No, I didn't get that far.
So... was it stuff like this? Abuse? So you fled?
I didn't flee.
So... what happened?
Yeah, I don't really want to talk about it.
Alright.
Yeah. I'm not there anymore, and that's all that's important. So now I'm here, and yeah.
Alright. That's... Thank you for sharing that, Alma. Sometimes I feel as though I hardly know you. Your life hasn't been that long, and yet I know so little of the places you've been.
Well, I just don't like to think about it. I mean, why dwell on things that are bad?
Because the things that have happened in your life inform the person you are now. So you don't have to get stuck in it. But you might have some reconciliation to do.
Not now.
Fair enough. If I was brought up in an environment like this, I wouldn't want to think about it either. And I
That's
just
it.
watch the sweaty, stressed creatures of this group proceed on their movements.
Okay. Flynn, where are you headed?
I'm heading to Kaelin's room, if I can find it.
Okay. Yeah, easy enough. You know exactly where it is.
I'll just kind of put my hand on the door and just think for a minute. Again, another bout of nostalgia. It's like studying in this room, hanging out, having fun. All those memories are flooding back, and open the door to
An empty room.
kinda,
A very simple cot shoved up in the corner. A very, very simple dresser made of wood. Nothing up on the walls.
as I just exhale, just walk in, and kind of put my hand on the desk, I'm on the bed, kind of look around and see if I can see any remnants, any notebooks, any papers, anything that would lead to where she went.
Make an investigation check for
Yep.
me.
Disadvantage. Investigation.
Mhm.
That is a 17.
A 17. All right. You start looking through this room, and there's nothing apparent at first glance. You open up the drawers, there's nothing there. You sort of turn over the bed, there's nothing there. When you look at sort of the end of this cot, where you know that there's sort of like an interior mattress and then an exterior cloth that is wrapped around it. And you see some extra yarn at the end of this cloth where someone has sewed it back together. You very carefully sort of take those couple of pieces of thread and start to pull it apart, and it comes apart and opens up towards the inside of this cot.
Sure.
And inside there's a little rolled up piece of paper that you pull out.
Sure.
And you open it up and immediately recognize it as a formal letter of resignation from the Ironlight Castle. You see it is handwritten out in her exact handwriting, but never signed or turned in.
As I start reading this, I sit down on the cot. Why would you want to leave? You're better than me. You're stronger than me. Well, I want to find you and ask. And bring you back. Then I'll just hop off the bed and roll the letter up and put it in my souvenir bag. Just toss it in there for now.
Okay.
And I'll just give one last look around the room. And I'll actually go back and re-sew up the...
Okay.
Or put the thread through if I can.
The way that you did it, you pretty much just loosen it all
Sure.
up. So you pretty much just have to grab the end and tighten it again.
Okay.
It'd be easy enough.
I'll do that and set it back how it was. And head to the door and just give one last look around my shoulder and just kind of give a smirk and just like a nod and shut the door and head back to the party.
Head back to the party, or you heading to the requisite?
I'm gonna head back to the party.
Okay. Very cool. I just know you mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
Cool. Flynn meets up with the rest of the party.
Hey, how we doing?
Great. We're just watching your comrades be nearly choked to unconsciousness.
Yeah.
And verbally abused.
Yeah, the training's rough here. Before we go, I know we stopped last time we were here, but we didn't really need it. But I know we mentioned earlier that we kind of need some gold. And, I mean, honestly, I kind of need to finish my training.
They cleaned us out.
Yeah. I don't know if I mentioned it, there's a place called the Requisite where they have a bunch of missions and people asking for help. And I figured we can stop by and see if there's anything there that's kind of on the way or around the area that we can kind of take care of really quick.
Don't we have a bit of a crisis, though?
Well,
with
Zorkal's
this?
taking care of it.
And do you trust Zorkal? Also, we have the matter of
He's a sentinel now.
Zeta to look after here.
Yeah, but we need money.
I agree, just...
Maybe something on the way. Where are we going? Are we going to the Tear?
No. Why would we go to the Tear?
Or the Dakir ruins?
Or the ruins?
I think the ruins, yeah.
Well, maybe there's something around there that we can kind of get some money. I can finish some stuff I need to do, and also we can find out information at the ruins.
Yeah, what time is it?
It is approaching early evening.
Well, we have dinner plans. We can't forget that. We have to meet with James and his daughter for dinner.
Right.
That's right.
Right.
Kelly, do you think she's pretty?
I didn't get a good look at the picture that he had up of her. But yeah, James is a
know.
handsome fella.
Well, maybe we should see your
Makes sense.
girlfriend while we're here. Or your ex-girlfriend.
Alma, I don't need to see.
We can rekindle them.
What?
What?
No.
Well, maybe a new love.
Zeta, did Melloroo give you some sort of... Did she ask you... No, I'm just... Zeta, did Melloroo give you any kind of directive? Did she have any... where for you to go? I don't want to drag you halfway across the world here.
No, she didn't tell me I needed to do anything. She just thanked me for telling her what I told her.
All right. I don't know what to...
Well, I think we should get dinner.
Do you want to have dinner with James and his family? Zeta.
I'd like to eat something.
Yes. Okay. Well, great.
Zeta, you can't go back to Keldur because you're kind of wanted.
Yeah,
And
probably a safe assumption.
sometimes you turn into a weird thing and you make weird sounds.
Mhm.
So you probably shouldn't be alone either, because who knows what kind of mischief you could get into. I don't know. I think we should have dinner and then either come with us or maybe you can go with Xavier.
I'd be fine going with Xavier. He seems to be pretty capable.
I mean, you're
And-
both wanted convicts, so maybe you shouldn't travel together, but I don't know.
Zeta, you seem like a good person.
If anybody could help you with your whole contract thing, it'd be Xavier.
I don't know that that's true.
We could ask.
We could.
Kelly,
Yes, Alma.
could you do the thingy where you talk to the people that you know in your head and maybe ask him if I know he wanted to rest a little bit and then he was going to meet us in Addersfeld, but like maybe if he wants to meet us tomorrow morning or at dinner and tell him where to meet us? Please. I know you don't like doing it, but can you please talk to somebody in your head?
I look through all the tethers and it just takes some time to find the right one.
Do you ever sometimes pick the wrong one? Do you send a message to the wrong person?
But I'm very careful, so I haven't had that experience yet.
But what if you did? What if you sent like a really special private message, like something super, super secret, and you sent it to the wrong person? Then how would you know?
Well,
How would you know you sent it to the wrong person?
every time I've done it so far, they respond. So I assume that they would respond with a message of confusion.
Huh.
When I do find the right tether, I can tell. It feels right. It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
But ever since I've seen the world this way, it makes more sense to me.
A sea of tethers.
Aye.
Okay.
Right.
So maybe you can find his tether and ask him. Should we make our way out of this building?
Yeah, maybe not here in this spot particularly.
Well, I can meet you guys. I really need to get this stuff done. Like, I got yelled at because I'm lagging behind.
Very well.
Wait, I have one quick question. Just one small question.
Yeah.
Why do you have to?
Because this is what I want to do.
Okay, another quick question.
Yeah.
That one was quick, so
Why? We're having a great time being repair agents.
Are we?
And I'm having a lot of fun. And and we've gotten a lot done, and we're really good at it. So why do you need them?
Why do you need Xavier? Because we took aside to help him. This is something I need to do.
Xavier's
But that's a different. This is a different. Xavier's a person. This is an organization. This is a different question completely. You didn't answer my question. My question was, I'll repeat it. It's really fast, but I'll repeat it.
I just look at Kellic as he's doing this. Roll my eyes.
I just shrugged.
We've been having a great time, doing a lot of good as repairing agents. Right?
I'm just making
We've all been doing a great job.
The wishy-washy hand gesture this whole time behind Alma, just the hand moving back and forth.
So why do you need to be part of this specific organization that seems like they're not very nice to you, specifically you, and they don't appreciate what you bring to the table, but we do. We appreciate everything you bring to the table, and we want to support you. But this organization seems like poo-poo.
Whoa.
First off, no, don't say that.
Don't say what? Poo-poo?
That this is a great organization.
As
Yet
she's
to see
They've
good
been really
evidence of
mean
that.
to you.
I hold my hand up. I mean, they gave me this power,
Yeah, but now you have it, so you could just like keep it, and then we could go.
but there's more.
Well, but we know Hayfried and Xavier. You can learn more from other people.
Just because some of the people here are bad doesn't mean they all are. I mean, look at the Hollow Guard. You were part of that.
Yeah, but I'm not part of that anymore once I learned. See, we learn things and then we can make choices, and that's what I'm telling to you. Just
Sure.
like how like there are good people and bad people in the guards of Kaldur. Doesn't really seem true. Seems like that also might be the case here.
I tilt my head over to Tito and translate it too.
He's very loyal, the short one, for better or for worse.
Yeah, I'm only picking up like every fifth word or so, but I think I'm sort of getting the gist of the conversation.
Body language, and I'm just gonna over at Flynn, just like, and then like throw my hands up and then make a hand gesture toward like the heart.
Yeah.
Okay, Flynn, I'm not gonna try to unbrainwash you in one day, but maybe you could like think about it. Just like as we continue, yeah, sure, go where you need to go and kill some more monsters just like you need to, but like maybe think about whether this is really the path you want to be on, or if you would rather hang out with us, because it seems like if you're with them and you get more and more entrenched, that they're just going to start telling you what to do, and you're not going to be able to go off of what the agents of repair want to do. And so then you're just going to have to make a choice. And so I'm not saying you have to make that choice now. I'm just saying maybe you should think about it and think about how far you've gotten into what you need here and what you can get from other people.
I'll think about it.
We could use some gold. There's no way around that. But I think Alma raises some valid points. And I didn't understand what Shreya said, but I suspect whatever he said was also salient.
No, but if we are to leave you here to more training, I must ask you one more thing before we part.
Oh, sure.
You mentioned someone taking care of something in passing. Or what did you mean by that? You said that person would take care of something, take care of a excursion of some kind?
Oh, Zorkal?
Yes, that.
Yeah, who is that?
Yeah, he was in my class. And
What is he taking care of?
well, Melloroo assigned him because he is now a sentinel of the Ironlight. He made it, and I'm not yet. So now he got the official mission to take care of the crystals, the Red Wolf.
But we're the agents of repair, and we get to make our own missions, and our mission is also to go look at the ruins. So like, I don't need Melloroo telling me what to do.
Well, to almost very pointed point there. I
Alma
do believe
doesn't
that
make any dull points. They're all sharp.
That's very true. I would say it might be fitting for us to perhaps follow them on their way there. Or perhaps we could go through there by a different means, thereby seeing what happens to them after they get there. And perhaps
I will tug on his feathers,
I'm saying,
and I will just say,
I'll say this.
I don't think that's a good idea, as I like nod and look around to see if anyone's watching.
No one's watching. No.
And
There you go. Keep doing that again. It's really confusing.
Talk about it
You're like
over
nodding your
pastry.
head, but you're
and
saying
you
no.
adopt this strange
it's
tone
really
where
confusing.
it's a bizarre trait.
I'm gonna go to the requisite.
you get what I'm saying. Let's
Yes.
just put it on the.
We can talk about it when we're not here.
Okay,
Yes.
so you're gonna meet us at dinner with James?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna go to the market and you'll meet us there.
Yes. I just want to see if
Okay,
there's
but
any.
this time you're saying yes and you're nodding your head yes. So now I know what you're saying. But before you were saying no and you were nodding your head yes, and that was really confusing. So why can't you just always do it this way?
But you.
Aren't you better at communicating? This is a secret collective, right? This is the secretive collective.
really make me want to stick together here.
Do you want someone to come with you to the requisite, Flynn? I've
I
been there
would,
before.
I would really appreciate it.
All right, I'll join you
No,
there.
but you have to
No.
I'll tell Xavier. What do you want me to convey to Xavier, Alma?
whatever you think is best.
Fair. Oh my
God. Kids, man.
After all that, like, please do it, whatever you want.
Jeez.
Yes, I'll
he yelled.
reach out to him right away.
Where are we having dinner?
We're gonna meet James at his house.
At his house,
we'll meet you
which
there.
is above the market.
Yes.
Sure. We'll meet
But
you there.
I know the way.
Okay.
All
Come
right.
on, Tito and Zeta and Shreya. Come on, let's go.
I just give Tito a slap on the back between the wings.
This way, I'm motion.
This way. All right, Flynn, you are headed to the requisite, yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You get to the requisite, and you are once again greeted by that familiar room that is filled with these shelves of letters and scrolls. And you look up, and once again, you see the tower above you that's got a bunch of different windows that are open that are to let in the carrier pigeons
Yep.
and all the birds that bring in letters and things of that sort. And you are looking around. And
I'm there as well. I think
Oh, you're there as well.
joined
Yeah,
you,
he comes with me.
I assume you guys are specifically looking for stuff that is around the Dakir ruins?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sort of in that
En
vicinity?
route to that, yeah.
After looking for a little bit, you guys come across a couple of different things. You actually come across, let's see, you come across 4 specific letters that have come in from areas around the Dakir ruins. The first one has come from a little town called Westbury. It is directly south from Marstock and just outside of the Grey Forest, nestled at the foot of the Bartok Rise. And the letter says, I pray this letter finds sympathetic ears soon, as our town is in turmoil. I write to you in the hopes of assistance, having already lost my cousins and my dear aunt only days before that. I've seen terrible beasts from realms not our own lurking in the darkness, and fear that a great evil has swept over our homes here. I fear the worst for my dearest missing family, and only write to you now, not in the hopes of saving them, for it might be too late for that, but instead to save those who might be taken in the future. Please help. Signed, Murata Kolovia. You find another letter. This second letter you open up, and the letter is written in black ink and in red ink over the top, in different handwriting, very clearly different ink. The handwriting over the top in red ink says, intercepted communication from Kaldurian army. The note in black ink, it says, immediate response necessary. Assistance required along abandoned road from Dakir to Blackdale. Entire platoon destroyed. Myself and commanding officer Alornath are only survivors of attack. Ground erupted like volcano beneath us. Tentacles made of magma attacked our men. Myself and Commander Alornath gravely injured. We might not see morning if help is not sent immediately. Private First Class Merriweather. The third letter that you find. You see that this letter is a little bit older, a little bit more well-worn than the rest of them. It's got some like cobwebs on top of it. And notably, it's got some tea stains on this letter. And it says, my brother was among your ranks and said to write if I'm ever in danger. That time has sadly come. We require immediate assistance at the holy temple of Krishnova on the northern face of the Bartok Rise. Soldiers have come and threatened us with violence for not vacating this place of worship. We have held back their first wave, but many here think that they will return to finish the job. We are not warriors and require your assistance. Signed, Lady Penala of the High Temple of Ildoria. And the final letter. This one comes from the small town of Nestle Valley. And on the front, it is signed specifically to someone named Graham Bludron II. And the note says, "My dearest Junior, I'm afraid the situation here at home has not improved. I'm well aware that your Ironlight training takes time, but you had promised to come back and help us defend our homes by now. The Drow returned last night to further negotiate their terms. I hope you finish your training quickly and return to help us defend ourselves as you promised. Hoping to see you soon. Signed, Senior." And those are the 4 things that you find. One in Westbury, one on the road between Blackdale and the Dakir Ruins, one signed from a temple in the Bartok Rise, the northern face of the Bartok Rise, and one from Nestle Valley.
That last letter, as we're going through them, I'm like, this is possible. We could maybe do this. And the volcano with tentacles, I'm like, maybe not that one. And as I gestured at Kel, like, that seems like a lot. And then I get to the last letter, Nestle Valley. Should do this one.
Where's that on the map?
You pull out the map, and you see that Nestle Valley is, if you are at the Dakir Ruins, you would head south along the base of the Bartok Rise, along the eastern side of the Bartok Rise, and not long after you would get to Nestle Valley.
I suppose it's about as close as any of the others.
I know it's a little out of the way, but
What makes this stick out to you?
I point to the name Graham.
Kind of sounds like Graham might want to take it.
He can't.
Why, did Chath train him a bit too hard?
No, he trained him great. He was, he's one of the best. Someone I looked up to. But,
What happened to him?
he didn't make it back. He didn't make it.
From just one of these? And I sort of gestured to all the letters around the room.
Yeah. This is dangerous work.
Oh, clearly.
And just like looking at the letter. And I look at the word senior. He wants his son's help.
From Drow.
It means he doesn't even know.
Does not the Ironlight let the family members of their collective know of their demise?
I mean, maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. But seeing this letter, I need to take care of it.
I do struggle with this. So many cries for help, and all of them things that we might be able to.
We can take them all.
Well, if we take them, then that means no one else can.
I'll look up at the wall. I'll hold the 4 letters in my hand, and I'll look at the wall.
Thousands of letters.
I think there'll be more for the others. But at least let's do this one.
All right.
At least this one.
I'm just gonna touch the letter that's got the cobwebs on it. I think we've already been here. The north side of the Bartok Rise.
And I think for a minute,
You know where we got the water for the necklaces?
yeah?
Yeah, I think we may have destroyed what was left of Lady Penala.
Oh. Maybe not this one then?
Yeah, I think you might be able to dispose of this. Or, I'm just gonna take it and just,
I'll pick up the other 3. We'll
fold it and just gently put it in my bag.
Well, these ones aren't worn yet.
Yeah, as far as we know. I wonder how many of these letters are written by people who are now spirits.
You see why I kind of do this? I understand that a lot of these people don't respect me, they don't trust me, they don't like me. But they are teaching me, and I am learning how to fight, how to protect people. These people, and I point to the wall of thousands of letters.
Yeah.
It's important to me. And I know Alma might not see that, but I'm hoping you would.
I spent my whole life trying to do good then. And I, too, was vehemently committed to an organization that taught me those things. Taught me skills I could use to help people. But the world looks different to me now. So I agree with your decision to want to help people. But that doesn't mean the Ironlight is perfect in its execution. And I think as long as you can keep that in sight and not be blinded by fidelity to people, even Chath, even Melloroo, then the people who wrote these letters would take help from anyone. Especially the golden-hearted Flynn fellow.
Yeah. And I will. If I start seeing a change, you'll know.
Aye. And we'll keep you honest. That's a promise.
There is still good in this organization. I know that.
How much good can exist within a whole? That is the question.
We'll see.
Do you think I really need to message this Xavier fella?
We can make something up.
I don't know that he can offer anything. I want to ask Zeta,
She
what
talks really fast. What did she want?
Sometimes it's hard to say.
I tune out sometimes, honestly.
I listen and it still makes no sense to me.
Yeah. I do have someone, I don't know how this spell works, but you know Kaelin, right?
You mentioned her.
I meant, is there a way you can reach out to her? I don't know how this works. Like,
I need to know the person.
Okay.
I might be able to use a portrait or something of.
I don't have any.
I just kind of try to find them. And
Right.
then maybe it'll work.
Okay. Well, maybe I could. No, I don't want to bother Melloroo. Never mind. We'll just.
Who is this Kaelin person? Why is she?
She was also in the class with me, and she helped me a lot through it. She was like Graham in our class. Graham was in the class before. She was like our Graham. She was great. She knew everything. She she's star pupil.
Okay, so?
And I reach into my bag and I pull out the letter of resignation. She doesn't want to be one anymore. And I know that there's a lot of dangers out there. And I've heard of people losing their minds to the crazy monsters they fight.
Yeah, well, I mean, if we go to answer the call of Graham Sr., he wants us to what? Fight back an army of drow? Those are people. They're not monsters.
Right, but I need to at least go there and give him the news if he doesn't have it.
Aye, my point is only... This Kaelin person perhaps her exploits, perhaps the road she was on didn't deliver to her to madness from some interaction with a monster, but from the milieu of all of this.
Yeah. I mean,
What does the Ironlight really seek to do?
protect.
But from what exactly?
And I instinctively reached to the bag to pull the hook or head out again, but we killed many things that harm innocent people. I don't understand. I mean, I point to the wall. I mean, there's all these people asking for help. I don't understand.
What makes the Ironlight Collective different from Drek, the assassin? If I send a letter to them and I say, please save me from this person who wants to harm me. We both shrug at each other. Listen, I think there are evils in this world and we must fight them at whatever cost. And for the longest time, all I've wanted to do was rid the world of evil. I thought I think it's my purpose. But when I look into the ashes and I see the ashes of that hook horror's head are the same as the ashes of the ghosts in Elboria's temple. Let's go help some people.
Yeah.
And have some dinner. And we head out of the what is it called? The
requisite.
The requisite.
All right.
I'll take the 3 letters.
Gotcha.
And you have the 4th. You're the middle one, right? The one.
Yeah. Okay, and you both meet up with the rest of the group on the way over to James's place.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything anyone wants to do before you actually get there, or you guys just heading straight there?
If is Zeta with the gang, the rest of the group, I'm assuming. Too?
Yeah.
I'd just like to kind of pull her aside before we go in for dinner, I guess, if that's possible.
Okay. Yeah, you would definitely get a moment.
So just outside the market.
Mhm.
Sorry, I don't want to trouble you.
Not at all.
What do you want? What would make you feel the most safe in all of this as we go forward? I'm racking my brain for a solution that keeps you out of harm's way, and it still feels like maybe it's best for you to stay with us.
What I want is a solution that will, in the end, make sure that I don't hurt anyone. That's really the last thing that I want.
Right.
Whether that's keeping me in one place or moving me around, I don't know what the answer is. But that's really what I want. And at the end of the day, if we can, undo what was done to me, I think that's the best case scenario.
On that front, I think maybe you should stay with us. And I don't want to just drop you somewhere and leave you there.
I
that's
will
all right
say,
with you.
if I stay, I don't want to be a drag on your group. I don't feel comfortable using my magic now. It feels foreign, and I fear that anytime I try and help in any way, I might do the opposite. I feel I would just be a drag.
Yeah, and we're most certainly going to encounter danger, so there's no keeping you safe.
I'm all for asking Xavier if he knows what to do. I was thinking about it. I'm also content with a cage in Hayfried's.
The only problem with the cage is it puts you right next to the creature that brought you to your previous state.
I'm not asking for that. I'm not.
Yeah, I'm against it.
This is just me saying whatever keeps everyone safe.
But Xavier's an accomplished wizard, so maybe he could do something comparable. Damn it, fine. And I reach in and I grab the thread and I twist it around my hand and I pull it to my heart. La Jungis. Xavier, it's Kellic. Zeta needs a place where she can stay and not hurt anyone. Can you help?
I've been doing that with Ulma for quite some time.
I laugh aloud.
I don't see what's stopping me. Also, I was about to come through. If you want to meet me at the teleportation circle.
Look at Zeta. I suppose, Ulma! Xavier wants us to meet him at the teleportation circle.
Oh, okay, I'll be right there.
Do you want to just get him, bring him here?
Uh-huh.
All right.
Thanks so much for messaging him. I really appreciate it.
Of course, Alma. Why wouldn't I do exactly what you say at all times?
I mean,
It was a good idea.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I make it seem like you always have to do what I want you to do.
Oh, no. Apology accepted.
Okay, I'm gonna go get Xavier. And
Okay.
I'm gonna-
You're going by yourself?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
As you are running off towards the teleportation circle, the sun is just going down over the horizon and everything gets a little bit darker. And as you're running, it gets darker and darker. And as you look around, you see those little miniature balls, almost like pearls at the corner of each building that you had seen previously when it gets dark here. And they begin to illuminate and the streets start to glow with these different blue and red and purple colors. So your way is lit as you run back. And right as you get to the teleportation circle, you see Xavier stepping through.
Hi, Xavier.
You're just you.
Yeah, but I didn't come that far. And you know me, I'm really good at getting through cities.
I was hoping for an audience. Either way, would you just step over for one moment? I want to show you something.
An audience? For what?
Well, I think it's pretty cool. I wanted to show you. I guess we can relay it later, but I want to show you first.
Okay.
Okay. So just come over here. Can I have you kneel down for a second?
Sure.
And you can see he reaches into his back pocket and he pulls out a gold coin, except it's a little bit bigger than a normal gold coin, and each surface is completely flush. It doesn't have any engravings on it, no markings, but it's this perfect gold coin. And he says, all right, so I'm just going to need you to relax for me and just let this do what it's about to do, okay?
Okay.
I know it might be easy to fight it. Just relax, okay?
Okay.
You close your eyes for me.
Yeah.
And as you close your eyes, he puts this coin right on your forehead. And you can feel the sensation taking over you, and you're letting it take over you.
Uh-huh. I trust Xavier.
And all of a sudden, the feeling dissipates. And you open your eyes, and you're no longer there with Xavier. You are in Hayfree's Void. And you look around, and you see bars of a cage. And you look around, and you look down, and you are on a floating platform. Cage surrounding you in Hayfree's Void. You look off to the left, and you can see the cage with the dragon floating around. You look off to the right, you can see the cage with the sheep creature floating around. Hey, it's pretty cool, huh?
This is so cool. This is going to be really helpful.
Yeah, not bad, huh?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh, anytime we see somebody crazy, we don't even have to fight them. We just have to find a way to get this onto them.
I wouldn't say that that's necessarily true. So you had to sort of accept what was happening.
Yeah.
We haven't really gotten past that point yet. But
So what if they're unconscious?
that should work.
Okay, so you just got to make sure that they're unconscious, and then they'll come here.
Yeah.
And then we can interrogate them.
Essentially, yeah.
Oh, hey, Freed. Did you and Xavier come up with this together? Were you
Yeah.
working together?
I wouldn't go that far.
But it's pretty great.
He's got some good ideas. Yeah, essentially. I can start working on some other cages. I mean, I can't, this is, sort of the only one at the moment.
Yeah, well, I can't imagine we'll find like a lot right now. We're about to have dinner with a friend, so like I don't think that's...
Good. Okay,
Yeah.
gives me some time. All right. And he pulls the cage over towards the center platform. He walks over, he opens up the cage and lets you out as he pulls the teleportation circle platform down as well. And he sort of escorts you over to the teleportation circle. And just like that, you're back standing right in front of Xavier at the teleportation circle in Addersfeld.
Throw my arms around his waist. They're so cool.
Yeah, pretty good, huh?
So good. At first I was like, Xavier wouldn't put me in prison, would he? And then I was like, well, he might. But I haven't really done anything so terrible yet. Right now, at least.
No, of course not.
Recently. I did banish somebody, but it was just like on accident and they came back.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you see why I wanted an audience. I wanted the whole, she's gone. She disappeared.
Oh, but I actually do that a lot now, and I blink out of existence.
Is that a spell?
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's not that impressive.
And then I hear him say that's not that impressive, and I blink back, and I say, oh, no, it's very impressive. It just wouldn't be that impressive for them.
Yeah,
for
no,
me.
you don't have to backtrack on this. Listen, and then he reaches into his back pocket and he pulls out 3 of these gold coins, and he hands them over to you.
So cool. Okay, I'll go keep these really safe, but these are really, really cool.
Yeah, that Hayfried, he's not the most pleasant guy to be around, but he's got some good ideas.
Yeah, I just think it's nice that you're working together. It's really nice
I
to see
wouldn't call it that.
two strong individuals being
No, let's
able
not
to
get into this. Let's
Oh,
no.
okay.
I heard there was food.
Yeah, we're gonna have dinner with our friend. He catches fish for a living, so I hope you like fish because I'm
Love
pretty sure that's what it's gonna be.
Fantastic. All right.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
And it's right this way, and I'm gonna guide him back.
Okay. And as you get back to the rest of the party, you see that they are already inside the shop, and James is just letting them up the stairs as you join the rest of the party. Oh, there she is. I was just wasn't I just asking about where she was?
Yeah.
It was. Yes.
I'm right here.
It was good to see you.
It's good to see you again.
And more friends.
This is Xavier.
Hi.
We
And
just
they both
reconnected with him.
shake hands. My daughter should be back any moment. She just went over to, I have a friend who has a stall who they do fresh breads and things like that. So she should be back any moment.
Wonderful.
If you would all
Lovely.
like to come in. And he leads you all into this sort of small, cozy little home. It's got, a couple of plants off in the corner and a fireplace is going and just sort of a little quiet, cozy atmosphere as he lets you guys in. And there are a couple of chairs there that you can sit down at. And he says, so what have you all been up to?
Oh, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah,
Saving more people. Just like
that's
you.
Fantastic.
Mhm.
Oh,
Catching a few fish along the way as well.
I like to hear that. No, I haven't caught any in a little while. And he sort of rubs his shoulder.
How you doing?
As good as I can be.
Yeah.
I'm in good health.
Okay.
You guys look a little bit, we'll call it tired.
Yeah, very, very tired.
Tired is a good word for it.
You know?
Or like exhausted emotionally and physically and mentally.
I hear you there.
It's been a long few weeks. How are the fish biting these days?
Better than when I first met you all. Business is going great, actually.
Good.
We've been doing a little bit better this last month than any previous month. So I don't know what good luck has come my way, but it's nice for the time being.
And no more involuntary trips to the slums, I take it.
No,
Good.
no. Thankfully,
Glad.
And your daughter's here helping you?
She
she
is.
fishing for you?
she is. Yeah, she's going out every day. And right as he says this, you hear little unlock of the door in front, and in walks James's daughter. Very obviously human woman, about 6'3".
Oh, wow.
This long blonde hair brought back into a tight braid, and biceps that would rival March. This is a buff woman, and you can tell that she's been doing some work. And as she walks in, she's carrying 2 hooks in each hand, each one with a pretty massive fish on it. And she walks in and she says, "Oh, these are our guests for the day. I assume. I'm sorry, I smell like fish, so I don't want to come around and give each of you a hug right now, but I'm going to put the fish down. I've got some bread downstairs that I'm going to bring up." And she points to Flynn. "Do you want to help with the bread?"
Yeah, hi.
"Hi."
I'm from Melloroo.
She walks over and she puts the fish down on the counter. She says, "I'll be right back up. Just going to go back down, and I'll introduce myself to all of you."
And I'll head back. I'll start heading down the stairs.
Okay. And you head down the stairs and you see 2 large sacks of what you assume to be bread. And you grab one, she grabs one, she sort of throws it over her shoulder
I'm
with ease.
dragging it.
Yep. And you guys go upstairs, throw it on the counter, and she says, "Okay. Now we're ready for introductions. My name's Flora. Very nice to meet you." And she reaches out her hand to each of you.
Oh, yeah, I'll give her a handshake as I tiredly pull the rest of the flour sack up the stairs. Good to meet you too. I'm Flynn Fallowweave. I said it before, but I don't think you were listening.
Yeah, I thank you.
These are
thank you,
heavy.
Flynn.
How'd you do
I appreciate that. Years of work.
I go up to poke her bicep.
And she sort of reaches down, she flexes it.
Poke.
And she goes through and she shakes each of your hand. And the first thing that you all notice by shaking her hand is just all the calluses. Like the entire inside of her palm is calloused. And she says, "So, I hope dinner tonight is on par with what you guys usually have. I know hero business. You have all these banquets and all this stuff."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we live a life of luxury.
Definitely.
But we'll stand it for tonight.
Yeah. My dad has told me all about all of you and the great heroes that saved him. So I'm sure that what we have here is meager in compared to what you normally experience.
Wonderful. It's wonderful.
A home-cooked meal is always welcome.
Honestly, it's the first bit of hospitality we've gotten in a long time that wasn't in between planes. So we're grateful.
That's a shame to hear. That's a real shame to hear. But if you don't mind, I'm going to get working on this fish. If any of you would like to help, the more the merrier. But with that, we've got some wine over there on the shelves. Please feel free to make yourselves right at home.
I'm happy to help, and I'll run in after her
As am I.
because I cooked on the ship, and I'm a really great cook now.
When she says if anybody wants to, I'm just already standing waiting to receive instructions of what would be most.
Flora, it would probably be wise to at least leave some of the fish uncooked. There are some of our party tonight that that prefers their fish on the raw side.
I quickly raise my wing, just kicks out from the side.
Although I would be interested in knowing what means that the flavoring happens in the worlds of more refined tastes. And so Flora, that's your... Also, that's the earthbound word for flower, correct?
Yeah.
Your name?
Mm-hmm.
Right. I would be very interested in your take on flavorings, as I like to be open to new things.
Well, we got the spice cabinet. I can sort of give you a little tour through there, but
would you?
Could you just... I don't know. I'm sorry, friend. Could you just step back? And you see Tito is starting to peck at the raw fish.
Put my hand on his beak, and I just grab it and I just press it to my forehead for a
It looks
second.
delicious.
Just it's coming. Food. Later.
Okay. I guess I can wait.
Okay. Later. Food.
And Tito goes and he sort of wraps his wings around himself and sort of sits down in one of the chairs that's a little too small for him.
I'm going to leave my staff with him, and I'm going to make a mesmerizing little display of geometric leaves on the inside of the crystal and just maybe try to entertain him like I would a small child.
And almost very feline-like, his pupils go very wide and is just transfixed on this object.
I should keep it busy for some length of time. All right, I want to see the spices. And I follow Laura.
And she very enthusiastically sort of takes you through her spice cabinet and tells you, what she usually uses on fish versus different meats versus if they're just doing vegetables, and pretty much gives you a wide range of knowledge on that. And Shreya, as she's teaching you about these spices, you now, with this new knowledge, can add your proficiency bonus to any check that has to do with cooking food or preparing a meal.
Yes.
All right. I am going to have Flynn, are you helping with dinner too?
So as everyone stands up, I also was I stand up and I see them all going into the kitchen already, and I'm like, oh, too many. I look to James. Too many cooks, right? And
I usually stay out of the kitchen.
I look up behind him to where the wine is. I can't reach it.
It's a good thing I can.
Yeah.
And he actually goes over and he grabs a little stool and he puts it, and he goes and he grabs one of the wines and pours it for you.
I'll go to my bag and I'll pull out my notepad.
Okay.
And my writing utensils. I owe you a picture, don't I?
I believe you do. I wasn't going to say anything.
You pour the wine, I'll start drawing.
Okay.
And I'll start drawing a picture of his daughter.
Okay. You sort of get, every once in a while, you sort of check in on your reference, and you get sort of like an action pose of her getting some fillets of
As
this.
I'm sipping the wine, I'm taking
of this
a break.
fish. And the rest of you, I'm going to have everyone make either a performance or a sleight of hand check.
Okay, me too for the drawing.
You're going to be later.
Okay.
14.
That'll be it. So that'll be a 9. I still rolled low.
Okay.
17.
17. Nice. So all of you working together, some of you sort of taking over where others are lacking. Sooner rather than later, you guys have a beautiful meal laid out in front of you. Flynn, you're about halfway through the drawing as the meal is prepared. And you all lay it out on the table with this delicious meal in front of you. The smells making their way all the way up to each of your noses. There's the fireplace going off in the corner, and the light is very gently dancing off of each of your features. And each of you just really get a moment to appreciate this moment with the food in front of you, the people around you who, for the most part, as you know, as you surmise, are probably not cursed for the first time in a while in the company of a group of people who none of them are cursed. But with that, you all look around, and this deep feeling of comfort sets in with all of you as you all level up.
Let's go. What?
Yeah.
All right.
You all are sitting there just feeling the effects of being in this community that you're in, the love around this table, and that is where we're going to call it for this session. We're going to end it right there. Thank you all so much for listening, and we can't wait to see you all again next week. Bye, nerds.
Bye.
Bye,
nerds.
Hi, nerds.
Hey, nerds, what's going on? This is Cameron, voice of Shreya. I just want to remind you guys, we so appreciate it when you guys follow us and interact with our social channels. It helps inform all of the work we do. Also, be sure to check out our Patreon. You get access to a lot of like cool extras that everything that orbits the podcast and the universe. You never know what you're going to find there. So highly encourage y'all to check that out. Also, if you enjoy these episodes, try to check out our Harken Backs. It pulls all of the events that happen throughout all of the episodes and arranges them really nicely by our wonderful engineer and artistic mind, Shane. He groups them together in a fantastically condensed yet still meaningful way. So yeah, do all of those things if you'd like that I just mentioned, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Bye, nerds.
Bum.
It's helpful when you're loud.
Perfect.